Okay, hello, and I'd like to welcome everybody to this, our 7th Sporting Heritage Annual Conference. It is brilliant to see so many of you join us today. I'm Justine Riley. I'm the Director of Sporting Heritage, the Subject Specialist Network for Sport across the UK. And over the next 2 days, we have such a hugely packed programme of activity linked to our conference themes of representation and diversity across the sector. And I'd like to say a huge thanks to our amazing sponsors, the Creative Core, and to all our other supporters. We couldn't do what we do without you. We're also so delighted this morning to have Ros Kerslake, Chief Executive of the National Lottery Heritage Fund, join us for our keynote speech, and I'll hand over to Ros in a moment. But first, I just wanted to say that we are so thankful to the National Lottery Heritage Fund for their support. They funded our work right at the very beginning of our journey with a resilience grant, which helps us develop our internal structures, systems, governance and plans. And their ongoing belief in us and the support of our work has enabled us to develop, diversify and grow as a community interest company. And they are one of the flagship heritage funders, not only providing grants to the sector, but also social investment, repayable finance as an additional form of investment, and have also financially supported several business support programmes. And their aim is to enable our sector to become more robust, resilient, fit for purpose and investment ready. And as a sector, we've all had to reposition, repurpose and review our objectives and our focus and our plans as a result of the pandemic. And the need for the heritage sector to be more resilient now, more than ever really, is an essential part of our everyday existence. And we've all had to adapt and learn to live in a world where digital is key. And this conference is an example of that. And embrace new ways of working, engage with our audiences and generate income in new and innovative ways. And along with the many difficulties the pandemic has brought us, it's also opened up new opportunities which can help heritage become more equitable and shared more widely. So after our keynote presentation this morning, our next conference session and our full conference welcome will begin at 9:30. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Chief Executive of the National Lottery Fund, Ros Kerslake. Thanks, Ros.
Good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here today and to talk to you about this really important subject of sporting heritage. I wanted to start with a quote from our recently refocused Grants for Heritage. We know that heritage can be a force for good, that it has an essential role to play in making communities better places to live, creating economic prosperity and supporting personal well-being, contributing to local identities and pride of place. And we also know that these are more important than ever as we recover from the pandemic. During an extraordinary 2 years, many people have turned to the rich heritage of their local communities for enjoyment and support, valuing the green spaces on their doorsteps and the amenities of their high streets, and introducing their families and friends to well-loved historic buildings and landscapes. Increasingly, we understand the impact of heritage on our well-being, as well as the challenges faced to adapting to and mitigating climate change. At the National Lottery Heritage Fund, we have committed to showing how heritage helps people and places to thrive. We see that as a crucial return on the investment made by national lottery players each week up and down the country. These players generate in the region of £36 million a week to support arts, sports, heritage, charities and communities. Our funding has a transformational impact on the well-being and quality of life of people across the whole of the United Kingdom. As I look back through these words, I could easily replace the word heritage with the word sport. As well as people turning to their heritage during the pandemic, we know that they are also turning to sport and physical activity as a positive way of dealing with these challenges. The value that people place on sport, their participation in it, whatever their motivation, is a significant part of the UK's national life and story. I think back to the summer of 2012 and the way in which Danny Boyle so beautifully and intricately wove together strands of our identity, our history, our heritage, against perhaps the ultimate sporting campus, the Olympic and Paralympic Games. I speak as somebody who came to sport quite late on in life, having not been that much of an enthusiastic while at school. And I think for many of us, in a way, almost the sort of the later you come to it, the more it means to you. And therefore, I think, there is an enormous resonance for so many people who are engaged in sport across the UK. And the link between the National Lottery and sport is very, very significant. Most recently, has been evident, of course, in our Olympic and Paralympic successes in Tokyo. No one does more to support our Olympic and Paralympic athletes than National Lottery players. This summer, the overall total number of medals won by British athletes across both the Paralympic and Olympic Games, summer and winter, since National Lottery funding was introduced, passed the 100 mark. Past the 1,000 mark. The investment through UK sport has been integral to that enormous success, giving our athletes the support they need in communities up and down the UK, moments and memories to treasure. Turning to more recent times, in the last 18 months, the coronavirus pandemic has created massive challenges for all of us. From the postponement of major sporting and cultural events, to the closure of theatres, museums and visitor attractions, to local charities facing increased demands just at a time when fundraising became more difficult. National Lottery supported through these challenging times and a sum that was in excess of £1 billion across the United Kingdom. That money has boosted the arts, heritage and sport and community and charity sector and helped to protect the future of thousands of organisations. It has supported initiatives and programmes tackling loneliness and isolation, provided support for elderly and vulnerable people, and has also promoted physical and mental health in the community. We are very proud that the National Lottery has been able to make this significant contribution at such a challenging time. And at the National Lottery Heritage Fund, we have been able to support a range of sporting heritage and history projects. As the largest dedicated grant funder of the UK's heritage, we have since 1994 awarded over £8.3 billion to more than 49,000 projects across the length and breadth of the UK. We invest in projects that connect people and communities to the local, regional and national heritage of the UK, providing leadership and support across the heritage sector. We also advocate for the value of heritage. And sport is a huge part of that heritage. So naturally, we have invested funds over the years into preserving our sporting heritage, but also into helping people to learn more about it, to engage with it and to celebrate it. At Silverstone, we contributed just over £9 million towards their visionary project to develop the Silverstone Interactive Museum for the exhibition and preservation of artefacts, archives and collections of educational and historical value. Opened in 2019, it took 7 years to create a home for the British Racing Drivers Club archive and a place for more motorsports fans and families to explore racing at Silverstone. Our funding means that the historic building could be preserved and the archive properly protected for the future. I have to say there was quite a lot of competition for going to that opening as well, because it is an absolutely amazing site. At Stoke Mandeville, we awarded the National Paralympic Heritage Trust £1 million to make its dream of creating a heritage centre to celebrate the Paralympic movement a reality. Celebrating Great Britain's unique role in the development of the Paralympic movement and the inspirational success of Paralympics GB, where I think we would all say that the event was taken to a whole new level, which I'm pleased to say has been sustained in future events. The project looks at the history of the development of the Paralympic movement from its founder, Dr. Ludwig Guttmann, who organised the first Stoke Mandeville Games in 1948. Collections and archives previously scattered across the country are catalogued and digitised for the first time, ensuring as many people as possible have the opportunity to access this unique and important resource. We have also, amongst other lottery funders, supported major sporting events. I've already mentioned the 2012 Games, which brought people together in so many ways, but the National Lottery was also a significant partner in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow in 2014. We delivered the Celebrate programme, which supported events and projects celebrating Glasgow 2014, or was inspired by the 71 nations and territories which make up the Commonwealth. And next year, with Birmingham providing the backdrop for what I'm sure will be a great Games, the National Lottery is again stepping up to the plate. That includes substantial investment in infrastructure and to support coaches and athletes. The Commonwealth Active Communities programme aimed at tackling physical inactivity and the inequalities associated with it across Birmingham, Coventry, Solihull and the Black Country, and employment, training and volunteering opportunities for young people. Perhaps most relevant to our discussion today is the Commonwealth Games Cultural Programme and Festival. With £6 million support from the National Lottery, the festival will showcase and involve people with the West Midlands' rich culture and heritage. Those are just some of the big investments with big results that we have made. Perhaps some of the smaller investments are of more importance and of more significance to those people who buy scratch cards and lottery tickets. I have to say, personally, I often find the small projects the most engaging of the ones that I see. Projects like the Sported Foundation are going to deliver, like the one that the Sported Foundation are going to deliver in Northern Ireland. Sported, a charity that empowers community groups through grassroots sports and physical activity, were recently awarded about £25,000. And they're going to use that to explore the history of sport and how it plays a part in Northern Ireland's identity. Or the Pompey History Society, who used a grant from us to tell the sporting and social history of Portsmouth, FC's title wins in 1948 and 1949, gathering memories and reminiscences from people who recalled the club's successes. Or the Parks to Pavilions project, documenting the history of Asian cricket in Yorkshire. Working with young people, they recorded interviews and collected memorabilia from the founders of one of the oldest Asian-led cricket leagues in Britain, the Bradford-based Quad el-Azam Sunday Cricket League. Or the example of the Shinty collection being used at a memories group meeting in Keynote, part of the new project in Scotland, led by the Scottish Sporting Heritage Network, to help discover, protect, preserve and celebrate the wide variety of Scotland's sporting collections. It's often these small projects that really unite people and communities with their heritage, sporting or otherwise, and as well as bringing out the depth of our love for sport. Like our heritage and history, sport has an incredible power to bring people together, as well as provide contrast, controversy and provoke passionate debate. This is precisely why the National Lottery and the Heritage Fund have been so proud to support sporting history and heritage throughout the United Kingdom. Thank you very much. I understand that the next session will start at 9:30 and that you should dial back in for that. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. It's been lovely speaking to you first thing this morning. Goodbye.